Hey everyone, Sari here, and welcome to the semi-final of Eunie's Super Boss duels. As usual, she's using the same build. The accelerated recharge from critical hits, doubled while she's got the boss's attention, allows her to loop through the different evasion arts that the Full Metal Jaguar class gives her access to. It's a powerful setup when played carefully. While Eunie is normally unhittable when cancelling one evasion art into the next, the variance in recharge rates can easily throw off the rhythm if you aren't careful. Things like terrain and spacing can cause problems too. Levialord Empireo was easily the toughest of the bosses so far. There were a couple of reasons for that. The first, immediately obvious one, is the terrain that you're fighting in. While swimming doesn't affect too much in the combat of Xenoblade 3, it does have a very nasty drawback for one of Eunie's evasion arts. The jump animation of Jackal Claw lifts Eunie far enough out of the water that she's briefly submerged after the landing, which cuts down the duration of the evasion, and also prevents her from using another art until she resurfaces. And that wrinkle alone forced me to retry this fight more times than I'd like to think about. Empireo also shares an annoying trait with the previous boss, Nizund. Many of his attacks will push him slightly backwards, gradually moving him out of range of Eunie's arts while still being able to attack her. It also makes the similar effects of Quick Draw and Aerial Slash much more noticeable. The water adds to this too, making it much more difficult to judge your spacing and decide when to close the distance again. The bright side of all of this is that Empireo shares a critical weakness with Nizund. Almost all of his attacks are extremely telegraphed, with long animations that give you time to space out your evasions and stay close enough to hit the boss. He also doesn't have any sneaky projectile arts like Frost Cannon or Infernal Flame that can catch you out during an arts cancel, letting you focus on navigating the ocean battlefield and watching your spacing instead. Once you've started to find your footing, so to speak, Empireo will start using Arcing Leap. This art can be a tricky one to handle if you aren't ready for it. Not only do you need to evade the damage it does, but the boss will travel pretty far out of Eunie's attack range as part of the ability, and then immediately use Arcing Leap a second time to return to his previous position. I found it best to avoid the damage with a Fused Demolition or Fatal Barrage, but any evasion art other than Shackle Claw can do the trick if it's timed well. After the attack animation, you'll need to quickly dash towards the boss to get close enough to use another evasion art before he starts the second leap. Once you've managed that, you just need to catch up to him one more time, before settling back into the usual rhythm of the fight. When you push Empireo down to around 40% of his health, he'll pull out his Ace in the Hole. Lord of the Ocean is a really nasty art that will apply a Shackle Arts debuff to Eunie, locking her into basic auto attacks without access to any of her arts. This is, obviously, a major problem for a setup that can't survive without its evasion arts. There are a few ways to handle this. The first is by using a chain attack. You can use this before or after Shackle Arts is applied. Using it before will let Eunie resist it, and using it after will clear the debuff early. While it is the easiest way to deal with the problem, you're also unlikely to get more than one chain attack during the fight. So while I did use it first here, I would recommend prioritizing the other method and keeping the chain attack in case things go wrong. Your second option for dealing with Lord of the Ocean is Eunie's Talent Part. The timing for this can be a bit tricky. Unlike most of Empireo's attacks, the Shackle Arts debuff gets applied pretty early in the animation. But, while the Violent Streak animation is playing, Eunie will always resist it. Unlike a chain attack, it also recharges nearly instantly, making it a very consistent method of avoiding the danger. There are a couple of things to keep in mind for this, though. For starters, you'll need to be paying very close attention to the boss's nameplate to spot the art coming and let yourself react to it, all while maintaining their usual spacing and evasion chain. You'll also have to be careful about using Fatal Barrage and Demolition. While their long animations are usually a positive, they can actually stop you from using Violent Streak in time to resist the debuff if you use them at the wrong time. To avoid this, try to use them immediately after the boss locks himself into a different part or an auto attack. There is a third way around the debuff, but I'd only recommend it if you're out of other options. Because Lord of the Ocean's animation is quite long, and then gets followed immediately by Ocean's Grace, which is another long animation that doesn't do any damage, it's possible to just swim out of the boss's attack range while he's busy buffing himself. If you're far enough out of the lighter circle of water surrounding him, he'll need to chase you down to hit you. and while he does swim faster than you can dash, it's possible to play keep away long enough for the shackle art steepuff to wear off. Once that happens, you just need to count on Empireo's lengthy attack animations to give you enough time to dash back into range of the boss and use an evasion art. I'd definitely recommend the other methods, though. They're more consistent, take less time, and are less stressful overall.
Put my head down and pulled us through.